Hey guys, this is Wildcat Chris Harris, TNA original and one half of 6-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted. You are listening to the TNA Cross the Line podcast.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 288 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Colling Jr. With me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. In Dallas, last week, we had quite the emotional reunion as we saw Abyss allegedly, potentially reunited with his mother. That's right. Father James Mitchell returned with a woman that we are interpreting to be Abyss's mother, which caused Abyss to essentially abandon Sting in a tag team match. And at the close, there was the brief reunion of the two, but we don't have any answers as to exactly who she is, which we may find out here on March 29th. And of course, as we're heading towards Lockdown, we've had some Lethal Lockdown team members announced. Team Cage has quite a few members. So does Team Angle, but we're not fully complete. I don't think on either side. At least not for sure on Team Angle. I think we're missing at least one. So Dallas, we're just, I believe, 3 weeks away from Lockdown. How are we feeling? Are you just as emotional as I am about Abyss's mother coming in?
Bob, when his mom came out, I shed a tear. I mean, one singular tear dropped down my right cheek. As Abyss really wanted to hug his mom, and James Mitchell was like, no. And then just walked away as she kind of smiled and looked at her son. Or we're assuming her son. Which, hey, I mean, he tried to kill your, I'm assuming, husband.
Well, I shot him 3 times in the back.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to kill him. So
now here's the thing. Now, what I don't know if we talked about this, but if you like stab or shoot somebody in the back, that tends to mean they're either running away or they don't see it coming.
Right. That's a great point.
So what?
So which one is it?
What is he doing? Why would he do that from behind? He might have been beating up the mom, and from behind he did it.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm kind of wondering for something like that.
Yeah.
Talk about a babyface move. Saving your mother from a domestic violence. That's great.
Right.
I'm here for it. I'd cheer him when he yells.
Okay. Maybe that's his trauma.
This is really random, Bob. I just thought about it before I forget. It's about Abyss. I'm pretty sure I had a dream last night that that WWE just did like a show in the UK and like Abyss came out and got this like massive star pop.
I feel like that would happen.
I just had that dream. I just remembered before I forget it. And like, dude, it was like, I would say probably like, it's kind of this era Abyss that I remember seeing, but it's definitely, but he also had his teeth fixed. Like he didn't have his thing out. And so he had all of his teeth in. And, dude, the pop was crazy.
Wow.
I think I was thinking about this in my dream for some reason because he's like DLC in the WWE game that's coming up, which is like wild.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what's more wild, that or New Jack. I think New Jack being in there is
New Jack
bizarre.
Is insane, dude.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
I mean, New Jack never even worked in WWE, right?
No, certainly not like on television. I don't know if he had a tryout. He might have had a tryout at some point.
And he never even appeared on like the one night stand shows or nothing.
No. That would be a liability case.
That is, yeah. The fact that New Jack is in the game is pretty wild. That might even get New Jack figures. You never know.
Well, yeah, you know that could definitely.
That'd be sick.
The Abyss thing though, since he is a DLC, and if they were to go to UK, I know they're going overseas next couple weeks, next few weeks for Raw, which has probably already happened by this point that you're listening. But that wouldn't surprise me if they were to like, oh, you know what? Let's just kind of promote the DLC and have Abyss do a cameo or something.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting. I don't know. I don't know if he's in wrestling shape anymore. I don't know if he's really done anything. I do know that he made a cameo as AJ Styles' like lawyer a few years back, and that popped the shit out of me.
And I do remember that.
Essentially, it was Joseph Parks making a cameo as AJ's lawyer. It was awesome. As a TNA fan. So technically, he has appeared, but not as Abyss, of course. And so, hey, you never know. I feel like if you're going to do an Abyss cameo, you have to do like at least a mini storyline with it, or you got to do something.
Yeah. I mean, he would be. He has the same type of energy that you would maybe get out of like the Wyatt Sick or like Karrion Kross or something.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
You could probably easily incorporate it there somehow. But
yeah, so maybe he'll bring his mom to the UK and she'll get a pop too, because that's happening. As far as these lockdown teams, we are starting to pull them together a little bit. We've been guessing and all of this of who's going to be on each team. And I feel like the Team Angle one has the biggest question mark of who it's going to be. And I'm hoping that we'll kind of continue to maybe get some ideas and stuff. I feel like we need to have like some people start to tease who can be on the team or something, because I have no idea.
Well, now Cornette said it was 5-on-5, right?
I believe so. Because right now that would be what? Christian, Styles, Tomko, Steiner.
Right there. There's a fifth, but I think it's going to end up being Abyss.
Yeah, that's what we were guessing.
And on the other side, it would be Kurt,
Rhino, Samoa
Joe,
Sting. And then there's a question mark.
And there's the fifth, which would be like Ron Killings.
That's your Ron Killings.
He just gets thrown into stuff because he's his claim to fame here is he's a former NWA World Champion 2 times.
On a team of champions. Could work. Could work.
Literally not wrong.
I don't know. We'll see what happens as we kind of get a little bit closer here to lockdown. I also wouldn't be surprised if they did some BS where it's like, it's going to be a mystery. And then we're going to still be sitting here like, who the heck is this going to be?
Well, here's the thing. If they were to do a mystery, I wouldn't hate that because it gets you to want to buy the pay-per-view.
It's true.
It's kind of like I see both sides of it. You get to buy the pay-per-view, but then like, why wouldn't you promote it if it's like a big name? Like if it's Goldberg or something, like why wouldn't you do that?
Could you fucking imagine?
That would be nuts. But knowing at TNA, they would be like, let's say next week they'll say, oh, you'll find out at Lockdown, and then we find out the Impact before Lockdown. Like the guy will come out.
They're famous for that. So.
Yeah.
Well, on the last episode of Impact, the March 22nd, 2007 episode, I'm just going to run down the card real quick, and then I got some ratings news for you. Kurt Angle, Rhino, and Samoa Joe teamed up to take on Serotonin and defeated them, of course, in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And that was, of course, Havoc, Kaz, and Martyr. Then there's a singles match between Austin Starr and Eric Young. Austin Starr defeated Young in 2 minutes, 55 seconds. And then in the main event, AJ Styles and Christian Cage teamed up to defeat Abyss and Sting in 9 minutes, 35 seconds when hell froze over and they teamed up for the first time. So that was our card. Now, believe it or not, this episode of Impact was going up against the NCAA basketball tournament. So you'd think that the ratings are going to take a big hit, but they actually didn't do too bad. They had a 0.98 rating, which is 1.2 million viewers, which is a pretty strong number when you have some tough competition. Dave notes that as well. The show did a 0.95 in males 18 to 34 and 0.73 in males 35 to 49, with a 68% of the viewers male and an average viewer being 33. Lower than usual, probably because some of the older regular viewers were watching the basketball show.
That I know they get the age from the like niece like the whatever.
Yeah.
Nelson ratings or whatever.
Nelson, yeah. I actually just did a Nelson survey. Or is it Nielsen? Nielsen?
I think it's
don't know.
Nielsen.
Nielsen. I just did a survey because they'll randomly send you. They still do them. They'll send you an envelope that has $2 in it.
That's right. Yeah.
And then, so this one I just got, it came with $4 for each person in the house because it was a radio one. So we logged what radio we listened to all week, and guess what? We only listened to it once, and the other days we just wrote did not listen to radio. And they're apparently going to send me $10 for each of us.
Wow.
So listen, they can keep sending me $2 in the mail. I'm here for it.
You're gonna have to claim that on your taxes.
No, it's not enough to have to claim it. It's too little.
I don't give a shit. You're gonna have to do it. I'll report you.
Oh boy.
I'll snitch.
Whatever, dude. A random note I have for you, just because I'm gonna forget that it's up here at the top of my page, is that Scott D'Amore missed the last TV tapings on Monday to appear in Canada at a bar for a Raw viewing party that included Chris Jericho, which is very interesting in itself. But D'Amore and Jericho hung out all weekend, going to various functions. Apparently, it was pretty sad on Saturday as the two were at a Jericho autograph signing, and it appeared that almost nobody knew who they were. They put them in a booth next to the Easter Bunny, and the Bunny's line was 5 times longer than Jericho's, according to Alvarez. It didn't help that the Y2J... Now listen to this. This made me laugh wicked loud. It didn't help that Y2J was charging $15 per autograph. And those who did get an autograph said both guys were very friendly. Imagine being disappointed to pay $15 for an autograph.
$15. That sounds like he's underselling himself.
I know.
2007. Now wait a minute. Is the autograph signing for both Jericho and D'Amore?
I think it's mostly supposed to be for Jericho, but I do kind of think it was a dual thing.
Okay.
Or unless D'Amore was just hanging out with Jericho during the signing, almost like he was helping manage him or something. Could have been that.
Right. I would kind of think he would. He was like being some kind of like an assistant or something.
Right.
And not actually like, oh hey, get my autograph too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what else I got for you here. I just scrolled too low. This is some interesting news coming out of Pro Wrestling Noah. Ryu Nakata, the company spokesperson, announced this past week regarding a deal with TNA. It was more in reference to All Japan announcing that they had a deal with TNA after Kenji Muto met with the TNA brass at Destination X. Nakata had already been working with Bill Behrens with Harley Race at the intermediary to try and get some TNA wrestlers to work Noah tours. He and Noah felt that they had to make the public announcement now because if they were to bring in someone from TNA, it would make it look like TNA was going behind All Japan's back with them to steal a deal. It was just a way to protect Noah from gaining a bad image in Japan. As things stand right now, there are no plans for any Noah talent to come to work in TNA, but there may be some TNA talent working dates for Noah. So they had to make the deal to make it look like they weren't being sketchy working in Japan. So kind of interesting. Next up, while we don't have an official number, we do know that the pay-per-view buys for Destination X were significantly up from the prior few months. Dave says, I'm guessing they had fallen to 2,000 to 25,000 range and were up around 30,000 for this one. They were
20 to 25, not 2,000.
Correct. Yes. Sorry. 20 to 25,000, and we're up to 30,000. They were way below what they were in September and October. So sounds positive. I do think the build for Destination X was pretty solid, so it kind of makes sense that more people probably were into the idea of buying the show. So. Apparently, there's some inside joking going on backstage at TNA, which you gotta love this. Some internet news place claimed that Dutch Mantel was the writer of the TV and that Vince Russo was only a consultant. So Mantel has been ribbing Russo, calling him consultant. Now, in reality, It's a three-man team that votes on direction, but Jeff Jarrett is the steering the ship, with both Mantell and Russo pitching ideas to him. The actual writing of the television show is Russo for the most part, with Mantell helping. So that's kind of our breakdown on who is doing what, but apparently they're just giving Russo a nice little rib backstage.
That would probably drive Russo nuts.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I got two more notes for you, and then we'll be getting into the show. And then I have some more for during the show. So not super heavy this week, as these later tapings end up getting. But there's a name that has been brought up to be coming in, and that would be Andrew Martin, otherwise known as Test.
Okay.
Some feel that he's strong coming off of WWE television, although at this point it is just in the talking stage. So there's nothing official. It's just an idea. I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah, I like Test. I don't mind him.
I got no issues with him. You know the whole story. This is the last note, by the way. The whole story with Christy Hemme trying to bring in these teams to fight VKM, all this stuff. Now, apparently, they were trying to get a team from Mexico to come in and be Christy Hemme's second team to put over VKM on the Lockdown show in St. Louis. But it's not going to end up happening. And that is because the Missouri State Athletic Commission requires blood tests before getting licensed. Now, all TNA wrestlers had blood drawn at TV for the tests, and the AAA wrestlers weren't going to be able to be found and tested in time for them to be licensed. So they will use others. Now, there's no word on who that is going to be. However, the storyline is still scheduled to wind up being Doug and Danny Basham, or Damaja, or whatever his name is.
Damaja.
The Damaja and Doug Basham. I hate that. I don't like it. That's still the plan for them to feud with VKM, although BG James has suggested using Serotonin for the spot only because they have already on the roster and it saves the company from hiring two wrestlers.
I mean, sure, but there's no value in Serotonin.
Correct.
So if they beat him, okay, big whoop. But at least with Danny and Doug, there may not be an established name, but there's like, I don't know, there's not like Serotonin's a job team, essentially. And,
right. Well, they are.
Right. And so like Doug and Danny don't have that stigma of already being just a jobber team. So I think I would just bring in Danny and Doug. Especially if it's a pay-per-view. If it was TV, sure, just use Serotonin. But
I agree with that. But yeah, if we're like trying to build for a full feud and like a pay-per-view thing,
yeah,
what are we doing?
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Well, yeah, that's all I got for our pre-show notes. As we kick off this episode, I will dive into the explosion matches that were from this second taping. The second taping that starts on today's episode actually is going to be covering the next 3 episodes of Impact leading into Lockdown. So will we slowly see degrading quality as we get to the third one? Well, time will tell. You guys will have to listen over the next couple weeks and see what we think about it.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into the March 29th, 2007 episode of Impact. The approximate runtime is 42 minutes and 58 seconds. If you want to watch along with us, head over to TNA Plus, or you can find your own personal collection. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I say play, that's when we're going to start the show. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
I'm going to just give it a second, because sometimes after this TNA We Are Wrestling thing, they go right into a crazy segment, so let's just wait 1 second. Oh, we're not. Okay. So explosion matches, Bob. On Explosion 181 that airs on April 2nd, 2007, Chris Sabin defeated Sonjay Dutt as he was putting the X-Division title on the line, so he retained on that episode. On the April 9th, 2007, Explosion 182, we saw Lance Hoyt defeat Alex Shelley. And then finally, this one's really interesting, on Explosion 183 that aired on April 16th, 2007, Serotonin, Havoc and Martyr defeated the Naturals. Yeah, that's right. Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens teaming up again on TNA television.
Wow.
So I thought that was nice to see. Oh, look at Paparazzi Productions and we're with Steve Borden. See, there you go. Chris had to watch his dad abuse his mom all those years. He's with Jim Mitchell.
These guys were having dinner.
Wait. Did he just make it sound like the mom shot the dad? Because he just said, so if she was, does it justify her putting 3 bullets into him? And so Abyss took the blame for what his mom did. So the genius is he takes the gun, he takes her fingerprints off. This seems incriminating that we're saying this on television, but this moron did 6 years of hard time, he said, for a crime that he didn't commit. And that's why Abyss does what James Mitchell watches when he does, or else.
He's doing it so that he doesn't say that his mom did?
Yeah, and he's doing that. He just said it right now, so now we know. And I like that they're meeting at like a Denny's, by the way. Also, street clothes, Jim Mitchell, not for me.
No.
In like the white shirt that's unbuttoned all the way down. It's so weird. Even Sting is like weird. And anyways, we're going to our impact.
What drives me nuts is that this guy literally left Father James Mitchell to be dead in a fucking parking lot, and then they're just having dinner.
Yeah, I don't know. That was very interesting. I like also that Alex Shelley was there filming it.
Right. So Abyss basically didn't commit the crime, but he took the fall for his mom. That's the big secret.
Yeah. Look at what is this, Bum? We're doing an X-Division Xscape cage match to kick off Impact.
Sure are. And there looks like there's Bob Backlund doing step-ups. And then there's all the guys look to be in the ring already.
Wait, I have a Bob Backlund note. Oh, who do you got in this match here? Austin Starr, Jerry Lynn, Shark Boy, Alex Shelley,
Austin Starr. No, I almost said Kazarian. That's not.
Is that Petey? Yeah, Petey wearing black. That threw me off.
Yeah, I think that's
and
what
Sonjay Dutt. Wow, Sanjay's going at it.
What's your Backlund note? Because I gotta do indie notes for these guys.
You can do indie notes quick. Go ahead. I'm trying to find the notes.
Alex Shelley has a few notes from the previous weekend. He lost to Lionel Knight at UWA Hardcore Reign of Vengeance, where he lost the UWA light heavyweight title. And then it looks like there was an immediate rematch, and he lost that one as well. On March 24th, Alex Shelley defeated Rocky Romero at PWG's 70-30. On the 25th, Shelley lost the MCW Cruiserweight title to Derek Frazier at MCW's March Madness when Monsters Collide in Maryland. And then we got Shark Boy, who just has one note of, one note of real importance, I guess. And we don't even know who this person really is. March 28th, Crew Jones defeated Shark Boy at GCW in Phoenix City, Alabama. I was going to mention on the 10th that Shark Boy lost to a young Michael Elgin in Canada.
Interesting.
Sonjay Dutt has a couple of notes here. On March 17th, he lost a 3-way where Luke Hawx defeated Sonjay Dutt and Joel Maximo at PWU's St. Patrick's Day Massacre at the ECW Arena. On the 23rd, Sonjay retained the UWA Grand Prix Championship by defeating Christopher Bishop by disqualification. On the 24th, Dutt lost a 4-way dance where Low Key defeated Ruckus, Sabian, and Sonjay at an event called Wicked Hanuman, the debut, which is at the ECW Arena as well. I believe that's a short-lived promotion. Austin Starr, also known as Austin Aries, has one note on March 17th. He lost to Josh Abercrombie at FSM's Chapter 1, which I think I might have mentioned that already. Jerry Lynn on the 24th defeated Nikki Benz at that debut show at the ECW Arena. And then on the 16th, he defeated Eric Andrews for USWO in Nashville, Tennessee. And that's my notes for the match.
Nice. This has been a really fun match so far. Shark Boy eliminated Alex Shelley after the DSD, and now Jerry Lynn just eliminated Sonjay Dutt after the Cradle Pile Driver. Basically, you have to get down to 2 people, and then you have to escape. And also, look at this bottom of our screen there. TNA special time next week, 11 p.m. we're airing. That's a little different.
Is Shark Boy about to win this match?
DSD on Austin Starr? Nope, breaking at the mask. My Bob Backlund note I was teasing for you. Apparently, Backlund gave Vince Russo a DVD of one of his matches from the late 70s in Madison Square Garden. It may have been a match with Peter Maivia, but Dave says he's not sure of the opponent, as a gift. Now, this is not a TV angle. He just literally showed up to TV with it and gave it to Russo. Austin Starr just eliminated Shark Boy, by the way. Oh, Starr raking both Petey's and Jerry Lynn's eyes here. Look, Jerry's going to go for the cradle, and Petey says, please, let me do the destroyer. And there it is, right on Austin Starr. And it's a 3. So we are down to Petey and Jerry Lynn. You have to escape in order to win. How do you feel about the fact that we're doing a cage match on Impact to promote a cage match pay-per-view?
So that was like right before you said that had started to cross my mind. I don't know. I mean, it does. I don't know. It's just it doesn't like devalue it or anything, but
I just feel like it's just
they're
weird.
a TV focused company.
I know, and it's just weird to me that they do this all the time. Guys, we have a Lockdown pay-per-view, and then like 3 months later, we're gonna have a cage match on Impact. It's like, okay.
I think my thing is like
Jerry and Petey are on the outside now together,
and it happens in the future when you have an all cage match pay-per-view. And then like 3 or 4 months later, you have another cage match on a different pay-per-view. It's like, why are we doing that?
Yeah. Oh, Jerry Lynn just fell to the floor to win as they were both slamming each other's heads on the cage. I thought that was a really fun opening match. That is some good X Division action. Really, really fast paced. Yeah, I'm here for that one. Oh shit! Christopher Daniels from behind with a baseball bat.
Did he just become? Did this escape match do anything? Or is it just an escape match to have an escape match?
I didn't hear them say anything, but I was wondering if it's supposed to be like a #1 contender kind of deal.
There is not any. Yeah, there's nothing that's classified as such, so I don't know.
Okay, we're backstage moments ago. Tomko just arrived, so Letitia's with him outside. But Christian just ran up, and she said something like, do you have any comments on the rumors about you returning? Christian said, you have a good time in Japan? Was it good?
No, he's trying to get ahead of the game here.
You take a couple origami classes or something, he says. Oh, I gotta take this, he says. Christian's answering his phone. And Tomko just walked by him. Ooh, trouble in paradise. He turns around, doesn't realize that Tomko walked by. That's all right, man. It's good talking to you. We'll catch up in a little bit. Speaking of the devil, Christian's coming out into the arena now. And, Bob, real quick, Christopher Daniels. He returned wearing that Sting mask, as you remember, and now he keeps using a baseball bat. He's also wore a trench coat recently, and we are kind of thinking this is weird. Why is he doing Sting stuff? Well, apparently they are building to a Sting versus Daniels feud in a few months. So this is kind of like starting the pieces.
Really?
Which
that is interesting.
Really intrigues me because that's so different. I would never have guessed that.
Way different.
Bob Backlund is still doing his step-ups here, by the way.
He's going to do this the whole fucking show, I bet. Is the long game here as for Christian and Tomko? I feel like it's that Tomko would turn face.
Yeah. I think so too.
That's what I'm thinking, because Tomko gives off a vibe of at some point he's just not going to deal with Cage's nonsense, and like it would be similar to like what in a more modern sense of like a Wardlow and MJF.
Yeah.
Type of thing, you know?
Yes. Absolutely. So, by the way, Christian is out here with AJ Styles and Scott Steiner. We're all in the ring.
Steiner with the not so great pants.
But they're red this week, though.
Right.
Oh, Christian's making an official announcement for the third member of Team Cage. It's gotta be Steiner, right? A man who needs no introduction. He'll tell you like it is. Of all the booty daddies he's met in his life, this is the biggest and baddest. That's right. Officially, Scott Steiner is on Team Cage. Scotty Steiner, welcome to Team Cage. Don't forget the title shot that I deserve.
He's promising way too many title shots.
And you know how that goes, right? That means he's
yeah.
going to lose the title before he can give any of those away.
Absolutely.
Which, I don't hate that.
No. That would be the typical thing to happen to a heel to another heel, where it's like, oh,
I like it, yeah.
Bullshit.
Being led to the ring by Jim Mitchell. The Monster Abyss, are we announcing him as our next member of the team? Listen to this note, Bob. This is Abyss adjacent. Much of Eric Young's character, as far as the insecurity aspects go, is apparently based on real life Chris Park or Abyss. So, like, they're using apparently how Chris Park is insecure about certain things. It's involved in the Eric Young character. At least that's what's being reported.
Insecure about not losing his job. Or is right?
It just says as far as the insecurity aspects go. So I don't know if it's the job or thing, or if it's just like his nervousness.
Right. So it's not like specifically like I want to lose my job.
Right.
He's just insecure about
yeah,
maybe a performance or something,
yeah.
and they're just changing the approach of it.
Yeah. It's kind of, I mean, if that's true, that's a fun like little twist on how to use it with the Eric Young character. They're chanting for Sting, the crowd is, and Christian says, you're not getting Sting, shut your damn mouths. You know who the fifth member is? I was going to surprise you later, but... Oh, we're about to get our whole Team Cage here. He's like, okay.
Is it not Tomko?
Let's see. The fifth member, the fifth and final member from Jacksonville, Florida. Tomko, okay.
Yeah, okay. Why would that be? I feel like Abyss should have been the last guy.
Well, so I'm trying to picture the fans in the crowd. Like, they probably didn't see that little segment, so this is like him coming back. They haven't seen him in a while. Maybe they're trying to make it seem like a big deal. But if you notice, Bob, he's not coming out. So he's introducing him again.
I don't even know if like Tomko returning is a bigger deal than it's Abyss. In terms of like what's been shown on television, like Abyss, like, oh, Sting is gonna be his friend.
Which, pointing out, Abyss is with Mitchell again. So, here's Tomko. Right. He looks none too happy, as Don West says.
He's like so cocky. The way he's carrying himself, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
No, the body language is speaking volumes here. AJ's jumping around and like a freak. Oh, Tomko says he's got a couple things to say to Cage. Ever since I come to TNA, you're making a lot of promises.
Promises.
And all of them have turned out to be a lie. Let me get a couple things straight, Christian. First of all, I play second fiddle to no one.
Well, he's kind of playing like fourth fiddle.
Hey, you owe me a title shot. Title shot I've earned and that you've promised.
No, you couldn't care less.
So he's basically said you offered it to everyone here. Before I join your team or anybody's team, I want my title shot. Oh, shit. He wants it tonight.
Yo. Oh, shit. Say no.
I know. Are we about to get like a random Christian versus Tomko title match? I cannot believe how selfish that you are being. Putting yourself before the team? What about team spirit? I wish Christian got them all like Team Cage shirts or something. That would have been hilarious.
That would have been great. Like with his face on it.
Yeah.
Like just his face. Or like his face and like their faces are very small, like around him.
Oh my god, dude. That'd be so funny. Oh.
I like how they all looked at the heel side for when Kurt's music hit.
You gotta just double check. Kurt is coming out here with Samoa Joe. And of course, I believe Rhino. Yep, there he is. Yeah. A note kind of relates to a few people out here too. I feel like I'm blasting through these, but everyone keeps showing up. The company will be selling limited edition Elevation X plaques, which include a photo, a piece of the shirt that Rhino wore during the match, a piece of the glove that AJ wore, and both autographed. And it's believed that they're selling for about $100.
That's not bad.
No. And I actually looked this up because I wanted to see what it looks like. It's pretty sick.
Is there anything on eBay?
I think I just saw one on a website that just sold. Like I saw a post on Twitter that was like a month ago, and like someone was like, "I just got this." So like they're around. Nice. They're like limited to 150, I think I saw, or something like that. 100, wow. Yeah. And it might be the first plaque that TNA does. They do another one. I won't spoil anything, but for our June pay-per-view potentially. And that one I did see, and damn, am I tempted. Mm. Oh, Cornette's out here. Crowd's booing him. We're about to get a nice confrontation, but whatever. Not a debate, not a soap opera. We're going to settle this issue tonight. Some good old-fashioned wrestling. Okay, let's see what he's got. One member of Team Cage versus one member of Team Angle in this very ring. The winner gets Tomko on their team at Lockdown? What?
Why?
Tomko, if you agree to go along with this and you sign the contract, whichever team wins, he hands him 2 contracts. I will guarantee you that you will get the NWA World Championship shot that Christian promised. So if Tomko agrees to this, signs with whatever team wins, he will get the title match. Mr. Cornette. Jimmy, you got yourself a deal.
So why would... So Tomko has... potentially to be on Kurt's team now too?
Correct. TNA Live. Look at this, Kurt Angle. Talk about.
So
hell yeah, dude. Here's our house shows.
They're trying to make it sound like Tomko's like the difference maker.
Correct. We're doing a little promo for our house shows leading up to Lockdown. That's cool. You've got to be kidding me. And then April 20th, we got one in Louisville.
Wow, they are really
Live.
doing a bunch of house shows here.
Yeah, they're coming up. We're going to be covering those a lot. That'll be fun.
There.
Oh, here's a Team 3D package. Bob, I have to let you know that Team 3D has just opened up a wrestling school in Orlando. Pretty cool. And also, it's kind of... Oh, yeah, I hear Conan talking. So it's LAX, an LAX note. There is talk of making Apollo and Hector Guerrero a babyface team.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
What is with this this borderline obsession with Apollo? Despite the 17 times that he's not shown up, or he just doesn't get on a plane. Like, what are...
I don't know if you just noticed, Bob, they're showing us the electrified steel cage during this promo. Because Conan was inside of, like, they were inside the cage, and every time Team 3D said legacy, they were showing famous tag teams. I saw the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
I think the Midnight Express was in there.
A legacy that you, as Brother Ray would say, is something that you earn.
Right. Okay, JB's backstage with Angle, Samoa Joe, and Rhino inside of a cage background to talk about.
Yeah, see, they messed this up. They should be behind the cage. If this was like the 80s, they'd be doing that type of promo.
Yeah. Okay, Kurt does not want to let his teammates down. Whenever I say something, I do it. Actually, one of my notes was about those house shows, so we actually already saw that. April 7th, 13th, and the 20th. So
Joe is making some faces behind Angle where he's like not believing him saying that he's a man of his word.
Oh, let's say some things are better left unsaid. He's talking about the last member of the team.
Yeah, they're teasing. Yeah.
Okay, so Kurt Angle is representing Team Angle in the main event tonight. So who is Christian going to choose to represent his team?
And I hope not Scott Steiner.
Here's a Eric Young segment. Or is he coming out? Oh, yeah, he's coming out. Okay. And yes, Bob Backlund is still stepping. He's doing his step-ups over... Eric Young is getting really scared of the pyro. Oh, he tried to outsmart the pyro, but it didn't work. He's like covering his ears and it's not going off. He's like, haha, we're good. Oh, and there it is. That's so funny.
And the funny thing, too, is that he's coming out. Oh, James Storm not getting an entrance.
Whoa.
Eric Young technically coming out the heel side, even though he's not a true heel.
He's on Robert Roode Inc., though.
I know, but he's like not a true heel, though. That's funny.
James Storm getting the jobber entrance, dude?
That's crazy.
Oh, they're showing the next Thursday at 11 p.m. situation again, just so you and our listeners are aware, Bob. That's making room for UFC's Ultimate Fight Night special at 8 and UFC Ultimate Fighter 5 season premiere at 10. So that's why we're getting bumped to 11.
Okay, that makes sense then. I figured it was something like a fight night.
Yep. Jake and Morton grabbing the leg of Eric Young, tripping him up. Any confirmation of the special friend that Eric Young is talking about, Bob? Benoit says, I think it's Petey Williams.
For what?
I don't know.
Storm just doing like a baseball slide from the floor to Young on the apron for a 2 count. James Storm getting a Brokeback Mountain chant. We're still getting that in 2007.
That's wild.
That's like 2 years.
Oh, discus clothesline by Eric Young, taking out James Storm. Irish whips into the corner, but it's countered, and Young doing the Ric Flair bump up and over, but he tries to scare away Jackie Moore, gets in the ring, belly to belly suplex. Dang. Eric Young on fire here against James Storm.
Oh, counters at the last call. Back suplex.
I don't know how I'm feeling about James Storm as like a singles heel right now.
I don't hate it. I like him with Jackie Moore.
Oh, Jackie Moore shoves him off the top. He went for that super kick, but he kind of hit the midsection, but he gets the cover anyways, and he wins the match. Well, I like the Jackie stuff, but I feel like it's like they were doing a lot in the beginning, and I feel like the heel turn was really good, and now I feel like we're just kind of here.
Well, I think we're...
Oh, hold on. Wildcat's here, and so is Gail Kim.
I feel like he's kind of just there because the payoff is with Harris, and they did the injury angle.
That's true. That's true. Oh, shit, he just spit beer in the face of Harris, who's getting held back, and he just got everyone let go of him. Gail's going after Jackie. He's going after Storm. They slip out of the ring.
Spit beer at a guy that's already that pissed at you.
Insult to injury, man. Harris is beating him up in the crowd right now. He's been blinded by that man, and he runs away. We're going backstage. Eric Young left in the ring alone. That was pathetic. Horrible.
It's Robert Roode. If anybody's wondering, he's just berating Eric Young with Tracy right behind him.
Tracy really showing off why Robert Roode hired her.
Yeah. The tits.
I was trying to say it nicer than that, but yes.
The boobies.
Oh, if he hits Roode, he's threatening to fire him.
The milk
He's holding up a
jugs.
fist. She's essentially just wearing a blazer.
Yeah.
You want to hit me, huh? He takes off his jacket. Maybe your friend will hit me. Where's your friend, Eric? Someone's coming down.
Oh my god!
It is fucking
Petey.
So Don West was right. It literally is Petey. Well, it says it could be.
Oh, could be. Who else? It has to be fucking Petey.
It's him. It's Johnny Devine. We went for the Destroyer, but Rude
I think it
away.
should have been A1.
A1. Okay, we're backstage with Team Cage now, and everyone's just yelling. All right, guys, I get it. If you're following along with us, by the way, we were at 29 minutes and 35 seconds. We have bigger problems right now. Who's going to face Kurt Angle tonight? Well, they've all lost to him recently, so I don't know if that's any of them are good. They're all pointing at Cage. And he's like, no, I'm the champ. I'm not going to fight him. Who's going to sell tickets? These largest arm sells tickets.
Okay, when Steiner just flexed there, his arm looks smaller than it was before.
Hey, man.
Which maybe he doesn't want to hear that, but...
We need a voice of reason. Jim? You need someone to do your dirty work? Problem solved. Abyss, he's your man. He's going to do it whether he wants to or not. Because I'm going to call the authorities and tell them what they did. We're not going to just say it on TV, but I will just tell them that he protected his mother.
That's right. Only shot his father 3 times in the back.
I'm I'm pretty sure in my dream when Abyss was doing his yells, they were sounding a lot weaker than they do here in 2007.
Oh.
It was a really weird dream.
You really remember this dream.
But I mean, if you asked me a couple hours, I would have forgot. That's why I had to say it so fast while we were talking about it.
Right.
Oh God, we're back.
You know, they say when you or at least I remember. This is what I remember hearing is that if you remember a dream, it's really only like 3 seconds of your sleeping.
I've heard stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are backstage with Christy Hemme, and she is now. We're doing like a via satellite thing with Lance Hoyt and VKM and Christy Hemme. I know you guys think you won this battle, but you have not won this war. And she's ready to battle back. You're getting away with what we really want, and that's the NWA Tag Team titles. Oh, God. There's no room in professional wrestling for women, he says. This is Kip. I'm going to give it to you this way. And now BG kind of looks to be on his side now. He's kind of agreeing with it.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to tell you right now, Kip. There's not one little drop of my dignity that you can take from me. I did go out and get another team. Oh. I wonder who that's going to be. It's confirmed. Now you're pissing me off.
Pissing me off.
Sooner than later, then you're going to get hurt like wrestlers do. Please stop. And he walks away.
That's funny. What about like Lance Hoyt being part of that now?
It's weird.
Very weird.
We're talking about
and like what you said, BG suddenly is like, yeah, no, women shouldn't be in wrestling. What? Okay.
We're getting a lethal lockdown package here. Oh, it stopped. And now we are heading to the impact zone. And Tomko is coming out because he's going to be sitting ringside for this match. Bob, a random note, because I only got a couple more and they're kind of random ones here, but there's a new channel in Israel called Ego, aimed at men, which combines fighting, auto racing, and softcore porn.
What?
They will have MMA on at 10 p.m. nightly with UFC, King of Cage, Ultimate Fighter, and other shows. And guess what? TNA will also be on the channel.
That's funny.
Isn't that wild? And here comes Abyss. I think I only got 2 more notes, so let me spit them out here as Abyss is coming up. It's official. The June 17th Slammiversary show celebrating the company's 5-year anniversary will be in Nashville in conjunction with a fan fest. So we haven't heard the announcement on TV yet, but it is going to happen in Nashville, which is pretty cool. And also, New Japan wants to send Tiger Mask in for May and June. But as Dave says, as best he can tell, it is not official. But we may get a little Tiger Mask time here in TNA, so that'd be kind of fun.
I want to say, I don't know if it's May or not, but I feel like Tiger Mask did like an IWA Mid-South show that I reviewed.
Mm.
And he fought AJ on that show.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's 2007. I mean, I could probably check real quick, but I think it's that.
Well, Abyss is in the ring, and here comes Kurt Angle.
I have a couple of notes here for Abyss, so we can enjoy this main event. On March 18th, Abyss lost to Kip James at ICW in Parker, Arizona. On the 24th, Abyss defeated AJ Styles at International Wrestling Cartel's Night of Legends 3 in Franklin, Pennsylvania. And on the 25th, Abyss defeated the Bruiser at MCW's March Madness When Monsters Collide. There was a special referee by the name of Pat Brink for that match. And let me double check that Tiger Mask note that
I want to join Team Angle. Someone has a sign in the crowd.
Do you think that was actually made or was that given out?
That one looked like it was made to me. I feel like the ones they plant, they make them real nice and bold and like they really stand out.
Yeah, so it looks like it was on it was May May of 2007 that Tiger Mask was in Joliet, Indiana.
Nice.
It was against AJ Styles. I'm sure we'll make note of it again when the time comes.
Right. It's official. Abyss and Kurt Angle.
Now Kurt's already beaten him before.
Right.
When they first came in the company, so. Will he make him submit again?
Probably. Or maybe not. I can't see Tomko being on Team Angle, dude. Come on. Like, who are we trying to fool here?
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't really make any sense to me either. Like, why would he even want to? Or is he... Do I throw this out here? Does he just cost Kurt the match anyway? And be like, I'm Team Cage.
That I could definitely see that happening. There's the 2 contracts, because honestly, it kind of sounds like he'll get the title match no matter what he does, so...
What if... Oh, no. We got the ankle lock already. What if Kurt wins, and then Tom goes like, nah, I'm Team Cage anyway, and he turns on him?
He does the thumb up, and then he turns it down, and then rips the contract.
Yeah.
Then here comes Christian Cage.
It would probably have the same level of business change as Batista did that to Triple H in 2005.
I agree. Yep. Well, we're back from commercial and stalling vertical suplex here on Kurt Angle. Abyss takes him down. I feel like Abyss isn't usually a stalling suplex kind of guy, but...
No, not really.
Hey, we're pushing again. Special time next Thursday. So they're making sure that if you watch this show, remember, our show's on at a different time next week. So it's good to see that they're doing that. Because sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Tomko is looking so mad. Trading some punches here. Kurt coming off the ropes, nails him. Okay, stop cutting away from the match to show the contracts.
Yeah, why they really are focusing on the contract.
German suplex.
That was more like a side.
Well, do you want Abyss to squish your head? I don't, so I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Straps come down, though. You know what that means. It's over. Kick in the gut. He makes his opponent groggy, hits A and B at the same time, goes for the Olympic slam, but Abyss hits LNR to reverse. And instead, Abyss picks him up in the shock treatment because he stole his finisher because he reversed it. But Angle slips out and is locking in the ankle lock. Christian screaming at Abyss, "Don't tap out, don't!
Don't do it. We need Tomko. We need Tomko on our team.
You son of a bitch!" And Mitchell's trying to push the rope toward him, and nope, Angle pulled him all the way back.
If Kurt sits down, it's over.
Oh, well, yeah.
I've never seen anybody get out of it when he sits down.
And if you notice, he has not yet. But Abyss just tried to counter it, and I think Angle still got it locked in.
Yeah, he's kneeling though. Just put the leg scissors on him.
Makes
if
you wonder.
You know that works 100% of the time, why wouldn't you just do it?
Roll through, and Earl gets knocked out by Kurt Angle. He literally flew out of the ring.
Earl's too old to be taking bumps like that.
I mean, probably. And black hole slam.
Goes for cover. 1, 2.
Holy shit! Rudy slid in, and that was a very close 2 count. 2.5, if you will. 2 3/4. There's the contracts.
As if the contracts are going to move. I don't know.
Abyss is calling for something. Maybe a choke slam?
Choke slam, yeah.
Pointing up to the heavens, miss you, Dad. And choke slam, and Kurt rolls through. Oh, shit. Kurt Angle just got the win.
With a victory roll.
Kurt Angle. That means Tomko is joining Team Angle. I don't know if Tomko looks thrilled about that, but... There's no way, dude.
Look at this.
Look
Look at
Tomko
this. This
looks
is a
mad.
future title match right here.
Tomko versus
Oh, he's decking him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Christian's happy.
You could tell because he flinched his right arm like 2 seconds before he did it.
Christian's got the other contract. He's got the pen. Oh, shit. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because Tomko has now signed the Team Cage contract. So, and here comes Rhino. The other contracts get ripped up. Here comes AJ.
Your typical mass brawl ending.
Boom, boom,
It's
boom,
Nitro.
boom.
It's Nitro all over again.
Here comes Samoa Joe running down really funny.
The way that he was like stomp running.
I think he was coming down too fast and he was trying
way
to slow
too
down.
fast. Yeah, that's exactly. He was like stutter stepping the whole way down.
Here's Steiner casually getting in the ring. Looks like we're ending with a big brawl here. Belly to belly on Samoa Joe. Overhead belly.
Wow.
By Scott Steiner. Team Angle is looking like jabrones here as Team Cage. We have officially, Team Cage is complete. We got 2 more weeks to figure out Team Angle.
How can TNA sit there and say, I never expected this for Tomko to be with Cage? Like, come on.
Adrenaline Rush highlights from the show here.
I am absolutely stunned that a heel would do this.
Bob, what do you think of that episode as we're seeing our closing package here?
I mean, I thought it was okay. I would give it, I would be more leaning towards an up, I guess. The escape was good. One thing I've noticed about Eric Young specifically, I think, is that whenever he is in a segment, I feel like the show drags. For me.
Interesting. Because I feel like this one I didn't really mind as much.
Like his match?
The segment. So I actually, I'll just say right now, I think that was a great episode of Impact.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I thought it was great.
I don't know.
I know what you're getting at with the Eric Young thing, because I feel like there's not a lot of substance with it. I feel like it's just kind of happening, and there's not really. I don't think there's going to be a good payoff.
Right. And I don't know. I think it's more so maybe it's the Eric Young and Rude dynamic.
I think that's what it is, because Eric Young himself, I think, is really entertaining.
Yeah, he's a good comedic guy, but I think that angle in general for me is just not anything that I like really care about.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't disagree with that for sure. I'm definitely over that angle because I just don't think it's doing anything for us.
Yeah.
But Eric Young I like. I don't think I like the Robert Roode stuff. And the thing is, I am a big Bobby Roode fan. This time for him is not great.
I agree.
I think it's just not working. I feel like they hyped him up too much with these video packages. Like, I'm going to be a champion. I'm going to do all this. And then he has done nothing even remotely close to that.
Well, I think when he's saying that he's going to get a manager, a successful manager, and he does these interviews with Bobby Heenan, Colonel Robert Parker, and then you go with Tracy, who has had, I mean, she got Michael Shane, I guess, the X-Division Championship, I guess, but not any world titles or anything.
Right.
That was kind of, I think when that happened, I was like, they're not going to take this serious.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So, yeah. I guess we'll see what happens. And as it continues, I'm looking forward to next week. Do I think I agree with what we were saying at the end there? I don't think the Tomko turn was like that fucking mind-blowing. But I'm more excited now to see what Team Angle is going to be composed of and how we're going to fight back from that. Because we got 2 more weeks before lockdown. That's still a lot of time to continue to build this. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
It's got to be Sting.
Sting. I thought he was going to come out at the end.
That's what I thought. I thought
bet
the lights were gonna flicker, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna stare from the rafters as my buddies are getting beaten up."
Here's my prediction. We find out it's Sting on their next episode. Tune in next week to find out. And then the following week, I think we are going to we're going to reveal the final member, and I think it's going to be at the end of the episode. I think we're going to close Impact with a tease. But it's going to be like an obvious tease.
An obvious that you know. Right.
It's going to be like, it's this guy. And we're going to go off the air with our credits, and then it's like, oh, shit, we're going to have that at Lockdown?
Do you think it could be Test?
That'd be interesting. I do think, I don't want to say I don't think Test is like a big enough name or whatever, but I like the idea of like, to me, Test is like their Tomko. Big muscle guy, like.
Right.
So I think that could definitely work. I don't know. Time's going to tell. I can't wait to find out, though.
Yeah. Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to join us for the April 5th Impact, which is going to be our next show, and that's next week. So until then, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line podcast.